Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. Got Wally in here, Casey, Fred, Amazing, and me, the sophisticated jerk. But before we jump into the review, man, how's everybody doing? How's y'all holidays?
Hey, feeling good, man. Christmas, Kansas City Chiefs, we won 15-1. Hey, home field advantage, baby, throughout the playoffs. Life is good. I'm trying to tell you. So nothing like the good food and the Chiefs win on Christmas. So
Lord,
I can't speak for everybody, but
this guy.
that's what's going on.
But all right, we'll go ahead. We'll jump into the review today. We had to let Fred flex a little bit. Well deserved for the Chiefs. I'm still betting against them. But
you better save your money.
Yeah, I know, right? I ain't gonna bet too much, but somebody might clean them out. They doing too good. Typically, when teams do too good, man, they fall off. But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into review. Today, we're gonna review the movie Hot Frosty. You know, the Christmas movie. So let me go ahead and do the summary and stuff, and then what we're gonna start doing is playing the trailer after I do the summary, the cast, and all that. Then we'll jump into the rating and stuff. So we're gonna change the format a little bit. But all right, let me pull up. So Hot Frosty is a 2024 American Christmas romantic comedy film directed by Jerry. Widow Kathy magically brings a snowman to life. His innocence helps her heal and find love again. They bond before the holidays, but he's doomed to melt. All right. So the directors and producers, so directed by Jerry C., produced by Joel S. Rice and Michael Barbuto. Damn. Yeah, I'm butchering it. Yeah, I might have to make y'all start reading some of these names. Yeah, y'all be having a field day with them.
Just read the first name and just say the letter of their first name.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it. If it looks good, I'm just gonna skip over it. But so all right, for cast, we had Lacey Chabert as Kathy Barrett, Dustin Milligan as Jack Snowman, Craig Robinson as Sheriff Nathaniel Hunter, Joe Trujillo as Deputy Sheriff Ed Schatz, Kathy Mixon Greer as Dottie, Chriselle Strauss as Jan, Sherry Miller as Mel, and Dan Lett as Dio. Shout out to them for having short names and stuff. But all right, we're gonna go ahead. But we'll go ahead. We're gonna play the trailer real quick, so bear with us. It's only a couple minutes, then we're gonna go ahead and jump into the ratings. So y'all, Wally and all y'all, get y'all ratings ready once we come back off of this.
Hey, so nice to see you.
You get your heat fixed?
My life is a mess right now.
Good things come to you when you're out in the cold, Kathy.
Clearly, you've been doing your push-ups.
You know what?
You keep it.
You're stuck in there pretty bad. You want me to get behind you and push? Huh? It feels amazing.
Excuse me, can I help you? Is this Jack?
I was a snowman.
That's not good. The coveralls and the boots, did you steal them?
Yes. Man went streaking in front of poor Ethel Jennings. Hi there. Oh.
I thought you could use some clothes, but you're gonna have to try them on. Oh, whoa, no, not right now.
Got it. Maybe he's got something to hide. We could just turn the temperature down. In my house, we like it hot.
What are you doing?
You really gonna interrupt my finest interrogation work like that? I've never been on a date before. Please, I need your help with Kathy. It's been a minute for me too. What in the name of God? Just gonna lean in a bit, okay? I want to make the most of the time that I have with you.
A man that sweet's just gotta be magic.
For a snowman. You're one heck of a romantic.
I know who I am.
That's so funny. That looks just like a girl I went to high school with.
They definitely make trailers make movies look great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, is that the same one we want? But all right, so we got the ratings. So we'll start with Casey, Fred first, and we'll work our way up. So Fred, what's your rating for this movie?
So I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw this, And this is the season for definitely a lot of Christmas movies. At first, it felt a little dry and kind of starting off, but I'm not gonna lie. When you put a comedian in there, and I got to give it to Craig Robertson, the Black brother, that's when stuff started picking up, and then you felt the humor, and you felt like, okay, I can see this a little bit better. So I end up, because of him, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna give it a 5, but I pushed it all the way up to a 6.5.
6.5.
6.5.
All right, amazing.
I'm giving it a 6.
Damn, okay. Wally. Don't disappoint Wally.
Oh, trust me. I ain't gonna disappoint. This is a 4.5. I mean, I got another score, but I'll talk about that later down the stretch. Though.
All right. And for me, I'm gonna give it a 4.1. I was tempted to, put it in like a solid 4, but I was like, I do like Craig, some of the comedians and stuff, so definitely a 4.1 for me. So, all right, let me pull up the questions. So, we'll start with you first, Casey, Fred, and then I guess I'll go after you since we're the two outliers.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know, the typical Christmas movie where boy meets girl, but the real twist of this movie was the simple fact that this guy started off as a snowman, which I've never actually ever seen that in a Christmas movie. So as far as, being an original, I thought that was actually pretty cool. And then of course, those two, she's pretty much a widow at a young age, but I mean, cancer can attack anyone. And that happened to be her husband and took him out. And so, and in so many ways, because they say when two become one, it was like it kind of took her out, and she was grieving, and it was just like she even confessed and said, hey, how can I even be with someone else when I don't even know how to take care of myself, really? And so she had that element going for her, but the bottom line of it was this scarf. I don't know if it had magical powers or whatever, but it was given to her, and she was like, you know what? Hey, she looked at all the different little snow people that was up there, the sculptures, and she said, you know what? Hey, I'm going to give this to you, And so, and then that's where the magic happens, and he came to life. And so I think one of the reasons why I gave it a 6.5 really is just the simple fact, not just because of the comedian, but just the simple fact of the story of how something becomes a seed. I mean, like if you buy a rose, it's closed, but if you all of a sudden put it in water and you nurture it, it begins to open and bloom. And so that's kind of like how this love story happens. It was closed. She was closed. He knew nothing, and he was watching TV, learning everything, which, hey, I wish I had those magical powers. I'm trying to tell you, he's fixing the house, he's cooking. I mean, he's doing everything great. I don't even know guys that even can do that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. We call people, okay? We say, hello, yes, yeah, I need you to come over here and fix this. And that's how most people operate in life. But he caught on quick, and then he also learned her at the same time. And because she brought him to life, he started, as they say in the movie, started falling. The more he learned, the more he started to love her. And then all of a sudden she realized that it was more than just words that he was giving, but he was putting action behind it. And so, like I said, that became friendship. And she said, yeah, you're a friend. And then eventually that budded, and they realized that, hey, I think there's actually something there. And so it was really cool. like I said, the plot and the storyline, I guess I'm kind of tying it all together. I see what the producers and directors were doing with this. And so I thought the storyline was actually pretty good. And the comedian who happens to be Craig Robertson, who is funny to me, and he happened to be the sheriff. Well, he's all about crime and he wants to, he feels like crime's been committed. And this is his town. This is Hope Springs. Nothing happens in Hope Springs unless he knows about it. He's singing songs about it and everything. And so you feel him, you're laughing the whole time like, this guy is crazy. And first of all, I don't even know how you can be the only brother in his small town in the first place, but that's who he is. And so he's doing this thing. He's got a song about it, Hope Springs and stuff. I ain't gonna sing, don't worry. But it's like he goes along and he wants to solve this case, which all of a sudden they even get a little print out, as far as this guy and the little sidekick, the deputy or whatever, he walking around and stuff. And this guy, Jack, who happens to be a snowman, he's winning the hearts of all these different people. And so what not to like about this guy and what not to love about this guy. And he's helping, he's making this place a better place. And so you find out that all of a sudden it's about love, but there's some undertones of, helping the community, making a place a better place than what you left it and everything. And he said he was living in the moment. And a lot of people don't live in the moment, but make the best out of every moment that is given to you because you never know when it gets taken away. So all that was in there. So I felt the storyline and the plot of how it was going. And of course, the sheriff, he was wanting to spoil the party and everything, which takes me to a lot of the scenes or whatever, because this cat who is a snowman, and snowmans don't really have brains. So he knew nothing, but he watched TV and he watched enough of it to be able to pick up on different things. And so I love those scenes where he's like making a pizza and he realized the oven is too hot. Can you put the pizza in there for me? Where he was all of a sudden seeing that there was a need because her husband, because he had cancer, had died. There were so many things around the house that need to be fixed or done, whether it was the light or the leak in the roof or stuff like that, which also forced him to go outside and then all of a sudden meet the community. And then they're snatching him up because he's good looking and he's a handyman all of a sudden and is able to help them, which all of a sudden leads to him working at the school in maintenance and being a part of the kids, and they fall in love with him and he's able to be a chaperone at a dance. And so you just saw this flower all of a sudden budding at the right time and everyone falling in love with him. And I just thought that was so funny. And then, one scene that cracked me up is the him against the sheriff, and he's looking at him. He's like, but they're like having this competition on who can eat the most ice. I don't know. And they got this stare down while they're in the diner because they met for the first time. And I'm like, you're a stranger. You're in my town. You're not supposed to be here. I think it's you. You don't want to probably commit these crimes and stuff. And he's trying to act all innocent, but yet at the same time, acting, manly at the same time. So he's eating this, shoving his ice and stuff down there. And eventually he realizes, because the help of Kathy, realizes that what he did, streaking and also, stealing clothes was the wrong thing. So he tries to make up for it, and he sees it by using her credit card to get the glass fixed and all this other stuff. And so there was a lot of scenes where you realize it was just like, hey, I'm trying to make wrongs right. And so I don't know. Like I said, it was a different Christmas movie. It wasn't just the typical lovebirds, I love you, I hate you, and then I love you in the end or whatever. This right here was a buildup, and it had some funny undertones because you had the comedian, the sheriff, throwing a little something to the mix. So that's why I bumped it up. It wasn't like it was a 9, a 10, a 8, or any of that. You know what I mean? It wasn't excellent or perfect, but it was original. and you saw what they was trying to do and everything to make this movie a little bit different than the typical movies that we normally see. So would there be any changes that I would do? Honestly, with this movie, probably not. I know I always say miniseries, but this movie was just perfect the way it was as far as what they were trying to do, because the snowman wasn't going to last very long. And then, of course, the magic of love. It changes all of this. I see you, Wally, like you ready to put some smoke, but hey, I'm just giving you a chance, an opportunity. I didn't even see you last week, so hey, it is what it is. You ready for a heavyweight fight? You know, you popping your neck like you Tyson and stuff, waiting for me. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to say that I thought this was a good. I mean, when you think of all the Christmas movies that you've seen, I thought this was an original. It was different than the most. And so I didn't say it was a classic or any of that. But what I did say is you saw the attempt of what the directors were trying to convey to the audience. And because of that, it ended up being a pretty decent movie. And that's why I gave it a 6.5. And would I recommend this movie to anyone? I definitely would. Because one thing, it's definitely family oriented. There's something that you can learn. There's something that you can get out of. You know, during this time with Christmas, there's a lot of widows out there. There's a lot of people that are alone. And you learned a lot of things. It was the community that actually came and stood up for him, because one thing of how he helped the community in his own way. And he knew he didn't have much time, but at least he was out there trying to do something. And so, I mean, there was a lot of things that you could get out of this. So because of that, I thought it was good. I gave it a 6.5, and all right, y'all can have the mic now, okay?
All right. So since I was the other outlier, I'll go. So my rating was a 4.1. Why I give it that rating? I'm not a big fan of Christmas movies anyways. But I just thought they made the snowman guy a little too goofy. Then they had the predictable like storyline. So I do give it a little credit, because what you said, Fred, you know, the plot was a little more original. So that's why I didn't go all the way down to 3 territory. So, so I kept it at a 4, because there was some original stuff in there. And, you know, they did have a couple funny parts, but I thought pretty standard Christmas movie, a little flat. I think honestly, like, I think they should stop making Christmas movies for like 5 years. You know, and then like make people just focus on the plot and then release them. It was like we got enough of them. But so what scenes and performances stuck out? I did like the old ladies. I thought that they were funny. How they were just like drooling all over them. Had them at the house, and the one lady when she was driving and stuff. So I like that element. So those scenes pretty much stuck out. And you know, like you said, Fred, the ones with Craig in there where he's just taking everything so serious. So it's like the town pretty much has like zero crime, and he's just like over the top. So he kind of reminded me like of a mall cop, where he's like, you know, they going around looking for stuff to do because they so bored. So yeah, I like how they kind of introduced that. But if I was the director and the producer of this movie, what would I change or do differently? I would have liked to see the snowman not as goofy. And then, like, I think after he met the one chick, he'd be like, you know what? You got too much trauma. I'm going to go ahead and get with one of these old chicks. So I would have liked... He'd be like, you know what? We'll just stay friends. You got a lot of baggage and trauma. I'm not trying to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And then he get with the old chick. He's living it's kind of like a sugar baby. So I would have liked to see that whole spin on the movie. Shout out to the male gold diggers. But yeah, I would like to see that whole spin. And would I recommend this movie to anyone? I mean, it's a Christmas movie, so if you're looking for stuff around the holidays, I would say watch it, because you know there's so many stuff we done seen year after year. But as soon as like December 25th hit, never watch it again. So I'll go ahead and kick it over to Wally.
Yeah, no shame. You got no shame, Jake. Oh, yeah, no shame. Oh my God. But okay, yeah. So my rating is a 4.5. Would I watch this movie again? If I'm doing a review of it, yeah. But other than that, no. But I will say this though, look, if you told me today, if I were to take my first instance, you told me this movie and you told me it was a Christmas movie, and I really don't care for Christmas movie, but you told me I had to go with you to the movie theaters and I had to sit there knowing I'm gonna be watching nothing but crap, only for me to change my mind. Honestly, this was pretty decent, right? And I say pretty decent in the form of the fact that it made me laugh. Like that's the good thing about me staying in tune with this movie. It made me laugh because honestly, the first couple of moments in the movie, I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. I'm out. This is going. I was already done. I was done. You already look. I already know you about to sell me. Cool. Like bye. But yeah. But look, plot, storyline. Honestly, I did love the plot and storyline. My only issue is I wish the plot and storyline, this movie was not more so of a real life human feel. I wish it was more animated feel. That would have sold this movie a little bit more better for me because certain things in the movie just didn't make no sense. Reason why. One, you get handed a scarf by a woman, and yet the scarf is a magical scarf. But you didn't have this for a long time. You just recently got it. And yet you place it on somebody, next time they got a little tweak, and then boom, they turn to human. No, can't do it. No,
the Christmas miracle, Wally.
No. Animation movie, yes, but this, no. You go find someone else to go make a snowman out there and go do it. Everyone will do it right now.
Oh God! Wait.
I'm kind of with Wally. I'm definitely dropping. Good point, Wally.
So that's one thing. That's one thing. I just wasn't for that a little bit. But and then the second thing that also made it sort of unbelievable for me is like, okay, you got caught by the old folks. The dog scared you, so now you run in trying to hide and whatever. And then what do? You slightly tap yourself on the window, and then boom, it breaks, and then you enter into the building where the scarf came from. You're trying to tell me when you fall backwards, break the glass, trying to tell me your legs didn't bleed? Okay, no, another fail. Sorry, no. Can't do it. Just can't. Especially the guy that hit you in the back. Either. Like, oh no, I can't believe that. No, can't do it. I wish they actually did something different. I'll come back to that as far as director cuts. But yeah, just couldn't believe it. But other than that, story plot line actually it was good. It was good. I just wish it was for an animated show. I think it would be way more better for an animated. This as a real life human thing, no. They should have changed this a little bit different. As far as actors and or scenes, like I said, I already throw you some scenes right there. Actors, of course. Shout out to the guys. The cop duo was pretty great. I love it, especially that moment when the lead cop asks, how do you think they see me amongst the townspeople? And he was just throwing out a bunch of different visuals like, oh, you're this, you're that, etc. in the movie. And it was very funny because he was constantly naming out things. Like in some cases it was good, but then as you keep on listening, it's like, okay, he's just throwing shots really at that point. And I'm like, you're just so good. And both of them two guys are very good, funny guys. So it was very good and humorous when they're in it together because they're pretty much a good combo in the movie. But other than that, old ladies, that was funny, especially when he said, oh, I got to go to the diner, so who can give me a ride? All them ladies left out. I'm like, the only one that's there was the one that's married and the one that actually originally gave you the scarf in the first place. That's probably recognizing that's the same scarf I gave the young lady the other day. Which, that was just perfect irony of it all because it's like, okay, you know what? Cool. What else was a good one? And another good one that was actually funny, but actually very interesting. His temperature always stayed cold, meaning his body was always cool, and it was very funny to see him always keep sweating. That was very different. I ain't gonna lie, that was very different and very interesting how they play that because I'm like, that was just so off-putting, but it was very funny and very interesting at the same time because it also lets you know he's not here for a long time; he's here for a short time. He's handling business. He's handling business. And, that's sadly true, right? Handling business. This is why it's a miracle, not a, long-lasting gift, quote unquote. But, which side back to the movie. But yeah, going back to, like, now director cuts. What I would change differently? One, I wish they actually used an actual person that's brand new, came in and changed the scenery of the location that they're in, versus it just being some frosty dude. Well, they're saying that he's a snowman. I mean, he's more of a, I can't say ice sculpture, but a snow sculpture. But hey, pick and choose. Yeah, change that. I just wish there was an actual person versus just being snow, and then you just made it into a person, but still creative. What's another one I would like to think of? The second one, instead of breaking the damn glass, he ended up going like in the back door or something, like just entered through the back way of the building, and then it's like, oh, magically the door was left open, so he just entered in and then take the clothes, versus it breaking glass and everything. But of course, that had to lead to the case, however it is. I mean, either which way, I think it still have been the same thing, because you'd have been like, someone stole your clothes, so it don't really matter. But nonetheless, what else would there be? And after that, honestly, pretty much it. But mainly, one thing's for sure is, because I did say this for sure. One thing's for sure about this movie is this: the message was very good, and I'll give it that. As much as I didn't care for this movie that much, or as the time I already see the writing on the wall, the messaging was good at this. Because one big thing that pretty much what Fred said earlier was, when you look at a surrounding, let alone even when it comes to people close to you, it's very horrible when you lose somebody, especially like even into an environment, right? Because like, think about it. Let's say you have a big knit family, and it's like, imagine this one person is gone, and then next thing you know, everything's down to shambles. It's like the family ain't family no more. Everyone's being shady one way or another, or they're just distant. It's just downhill spiral, right? And you sort of get the same feel within this movie, right? It's like everyone is just quiet and, just living their life, but now they got a little bit of in them, because this one person came in out of nowhere, and it's just turning everything up, revving everything up, changing the atmosphere, changing the energy. And that's one good thing about this movie I will give credit towards. So towards my earlier assessment, right, like I said earlier, if I didn't have the rating that I have right now, which I'm still standing on, what would I change this movie in rating? On a positive note, I would give it a fair 7 based upon the story. That's what I'll give it. But it had to be animated. That's my only criteria. I'm just sticking on that. It had to be animated. That's my only criteria, because this was really actually a good thought out way that they set it up. So I actually like how they did that. But other than that, would I recommend this movie to anyone? Hey, look, if you're the holiday special type that likes this, go ahead. If you're someone that needs a laugh, I ain't gonna lie, you go watch the movie, because it's actually pretty funny a little bit. And personally, I disagree with Jake a little bit on the fact that you say you don't like the guy being too derpy. But the thing is, he had no choice but to be derpy, because they literally just bring him in the flesh out of nowhere. You have no choice but to be derpy. You had no choice. You literally had no choice. But yeah, for me, I'm keeping my rating. But yeah, would I recommend it? Like I said, if you like the holiday movies and you like rom-com, go for it. If you ain't someone that ain't into this movie, but you still want a good laugh, and look, you still gonna laugh. You still gonna laugh. I don't care what no one says. You still gonna laugh. Go in there. But yeah.
All right, amazing.
Let's see. So I rated a 6. Why did I give the movie that rating? So you guys definitely let the audience know that you're not up to your Christmas Hallmark movies, because we have Jack Frost from the 1990s. That's literally the same story. And even Jack Frost is the name of the movie. And it's the husband who dies in a car wreck, comes back as a snowman. So we have Jack Frost. We have Snowmance, which is Hallmark. Also, snowman turns into man. And we have the Christmas Snowman, same storyline. So I just wanted to put that out there. This is not an original, but it was good.
So this was Hot Frosty, okay? Because he literally looked like the snowman.
And he was constantly
what
sweating.
Snowman sculpture do you know that had abs? All the movies previously before that, they didn't have abs. That's what set the tone for this movie.
Snowmance.
Snowman's head.
Man had abs. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you know, so funny though, the fact that you're comparing it. The only thing I compared this to in the mind of me thinking of it was literally only like what, Frosty the Snowman, but that was it. Other than that, I didn't really think nothing of those other movies you mentioned. Hey, when you talk about Christmas Miracle and making people come alive, yeah, that was the only comparison I had in my mind.
Okay, so what did I think about the plot and storyline? I did like it. It was typical. You kind of definitely knew what was going to happen. The one thing that set this one a little bit apart too, and I can't remember about the one this reminded me most of was Jack Frost. What I liked better about this one is Jack Frost actually I thought was a sad movie. I like that there wasn't any children involved in this one. It was just like the two adults falling in their own love story. Like so many Christmas movies, I feel like are focused on like single moms or single dads, and they come across somebody. And this was just like a super cute couple that was like into each other. So I just thought that was different, and I did like that. What scenes, actress's performance stuck out? I agree. I thought the old ladies were hilarious. My favorite one was when like she's driving her car and then like notices I'm on the roof topless, crashes, backs up, crashes. And then when he like just like chucks down the ladder in like all of his muscleness gleaming. And then he's like, do you want me to push it from the back? And she's like, yeah, push it.
I know, right?
I was just like, when he was back there pushing and like she's getting all like excited, I was like, oh, these little nasties. Like they had some nasty kind of like squeezed in there. And then like Wally said when he was doing the lights and they're trying to come up with like all these tasks for him to do while they're like all sitting there dressed up in their tea and then like are willing to fight each other to give the man a ride. So I thought those actually were the funniest. I did like the relationship between the cops. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if you guys caught when Kathy's character, they were watching TV or something, and like the Lindsay Lohan commercial came up, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, she looks just like a girl I went to school with," and they were on Mean Girls together in high school. So it's kind of like, like kind of brought that back in. So I thought that was kind of funny. If I was the director or producer, what would I change or do differently? I don't know, because I honestly thought it was a little too cheesy for me. But I also I liked like their references to like their nastiness. I thought that was funny. So it was like too cheesy, but that was just like I thought funny, like those undertone references. I would definitely recommend the movie to people. And both of Kathy and Jack's character, these are like super popular Christmas movie characters. Like Kathy, I can't think of whatever her name is in real life, but she's like, she's like Queen of Christmas. Like I feel like there's a couple queens of Christmas movies, and she's definitely up there with like the Maoris, Candace Cameron,
Lacey Chabert.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's on so many. And the Jack also, he's on a fair amount. Like, I was just watching a movie the other day. I didn't even recognize it. And SJ was like, isn't that Jack? And it was. And I was watching him in another rom-com. So, I mean, they're pretty popular. But I did notice he's one of those men that look like a completely different human with a beard. And he wears a beard pretty frequently. So, like, if you look him up, on different movies, like I think some men like literally look like different human beings with beard versus no beard, and he is one of those men that looks like a different person to me. I'm not sure I would change anything. I can't think of anything I would change right now. Like I said, I thought it was a typical. I did like that it was just focused on kind of like their relationship. She was a young widow trying to like do all of her stuff while her life was falling in shambles, and he came and kind of brought it together. Oh, I did like the I thought it was cute the way they played the young high school boy that he was kind of like hyping up to ask the girl out, and then that ends up being the sheriff's son. I thought that was kind of a little cute connection.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Yeah.
Hey, did you amazing? Did you like the part where all of a sudden it was role reversal, where all of a sudden Jack gets to be Pretty Woman and they played the music in the background? And so he's the one that gets to have the shopping spree, and she's taking him, and he's trying on all these different clothes. And then there is literally a moment right when they meet, and they're supposed to go out for this special occasion. It's just like Pretty Woman, and he says, "I got something special for you," and he opens it up, and it claps just like in Pretty Woman, you know, with the little famous necklace, and he puts it around her neck just like Pretty Woman, and they was playing the music the whole time. I thought it was hilarious. So I was just like, okay, I got the nostalgia thing. I see what you're going with it or whatever. But it was all just, I don't know, it was all funny to me. So it was like, ha ha he he. You kind of needed that. And I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Another moment I thought, and I know I'm supposed to let you finish, but didn't you guys like the doctor? And it would crack me up because that was at the very beginning where she keeps using a different thermostat. And then afterwards, she was like, oh, this is magic. I can't explain this or science or whatever. But you can come over to my house. You know what I'm saying? I'll take you. And he was like, no, I'm already taken. I'm going with Kate. I thought that was funny too. So there was a lot of little quirky, funny parts in it, man. But them singing and then the closing of it, and I don't know if you guys watched the ending, they had the extras, and that Craig, I'm trying to tell you, man, Robertson, he's just funny. They kept singing that song in Hope Street. I mean, it was just crazy. Yeah. Like, you need Hope Street by the time it was over.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I thought I love when movies do like the bloopers at the end. I think those are hilarious. I forgot about that. Actually, is going to raise my score. I forgot about that.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But all right, amazing. Did you hit you said you want to change stuff about the movie, and would you recommend this to anyone?
Yeah, I can't think of anything I would really change, and I would definitely recommend it.
All right. So now that we've completed that, is anybody going to change their score, go up and down? We'll start with you, amazing.
Yeah, I forgot. I really did enjoy the bloopers, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to 6.5.
Wasn't that your original score?
Oh, was it? I
thought no, it wasn't. That was yours was a 6. So
late throwing me off. 6.5.
Okay, so you're going to 6.5. All right, Wally. You was at a 4.5. You going up, down, staying the same?
So yeah, real quick, because I just thought of this in my head as far as another change. Would have been another smart change if they sort of played on. I know we say this every time, but I think it's just always smart to do this. But it would have been a smart play if they had played on like throwing a little bit of a throwback memory of the time when her and the husband was around and how the relationship was pretty good, and then it's like how the downward spiral of going to chemo and then the cancer came through, because in a lot of sense in the movie, right, not only was his mission was like to also bring joy, but it was also like just trying to bring like reinsurance to her as well, because in a lot of cases ever since then she lived that gloom and doom. She never get that step fixed. She never bothered to get the little wet part in the roof fixed. She just left everything where it was at the time. Even the sticky note on the wall, it was always there. I'm like, why is that constantly there? And it's like, next thing you know, it's like, but thanks to this guy, he fixes it and changes all of that. And it's like, okay, so now it moves forward. So it's like, it sort of like shows that scaling, like her life is finally like moved on. Like she has some closure with her past and able to move forward. So that was one like nice little thing that could have been a change. But yeah, I'm staying at 4.5.
All right. Casey, Fred, you're at a 6.5. You going up, down, staying the same?
No, like I said, I originally had it at a 5, and I put it all the way to the 6.5 because of the humor. And I'm actually going to stay there. And I will agree with Wally in the simple fact of she was really grieving. And it's funny how when widows, what happens is when they lose their significant other, they will sometimes just go into work. And it just seems like she was giving to everyone, but nobody was giving to her. She was all of a sudden giving, and she put all herself into work because she didn't have her significant other who literally fixed everything, took care of her. You know, they the ones that did the dancing and did all this stuff, cooking and everything for her, and was just there for her. So then when Jack comes along, it was amazing because one thing, he just kept giving because he even said, I only have a short period of time and I'm just going to give it all that I have to you. And I'm going to live in this moment with you and try to, at the same time, be just like you. But I'm going to not just give to the community, but I'm going to give to you because you did this special thing for me by, making me alive. And so I thought that was pretty deep. And so, I mean, you got a chance to see her, like I said, literally like a flower open up. You saw her put on a pretty dress and literally go to the dance and just really open up. And you hadn't seen that throughout the whole movie. She was pretty much closed and kept saying no to this and no to that. And don't say that you love me. And was just always shooting down everything. But at the end, he won her over. And I just was really, even the community said, hey, for a guy to do it like that and to be that much into you, that had to be magic. And so, and that's when she realized, yeah, you're right. And so, and I thought it was hilarious that the community just came all out for this guy, because who does that for real? Who really does that? And but they saw not only love, but they saw what he was trying to do. Not just for her, but really for the community. And I just thought it was, like I said, it was one of those feel good type of movies and stuff. And it had that humor. And like I said, I even appreciated, the comedian, the sheriff, because he had to learn some things at the end, especially his son, because he's like, come on, Dad. And he was like, you gonna turn on me too, because he was whole community like, come on, this is Christmas, let him go,
Yeah, they was.
So I just thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a really good movie. I'm gonna stay with that 6.5 for real.
Yeah, they did close out pretty good. So I'm gonna go up to a 4.5. Like I said, I do think they had a pretty good message. So I'm gonna jump up from my 4.1 to a 4.5. Still in decent territory. So, but all right, y'all. Definitely keep tuning in. Check this movie out, and we're gonna keep dropping some more stuff for 25 coming up. But all right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.